Page 501. Your representatives, priests, and other false teachers, false prophets and their students, as well as the religionists, ideologues, and philosophers, the sectarians, masters, sublime ones, godly ones, and idolized human beings, etc., who preach to you the untruth with regard to all the godheads and hin-gods, all of which are fabulated imaginations. They are all modern sanctimonious ones in apparent bigotry, and indeed even then, if they present the senselessnesses of their false religious, ideological, or philosophical teaching in a deep belief, which can never be proven as truth, because each belief is based on pure speculations and shows absolutely no concreteness of the reality. Do not let yourselves be guided into the unreal through the false teachings which are irresponsibly preached by false prophets, by servants of gods and servants of tin-gods, but instead let yourselves go forth in pure joy of the recognition that you can, through your simple and good wanting thoughts and feelings, direct and use effortlessly the neutral, positive, equalized, unique and immense energy and power given to you through the creation to the best and to the good, in the ample bearing of the responsibility. And according to your responsibility as well as your thoughts, feelings, your will, and your decision, the energy and its power has an effect, so you only have to responsibly use and direct it in the right wise to the best and the good. The use of the creational energy and power in you, through which you can use your consciousness and create ideas, thoughts, and thereout feelings, happens in uncomplicatedness and simplicity, and for this no religious, ideological, or philosophical learning is required. So neither does it require a belief in a godhead, a tin god, or an idolized human being, nor in any esoteric and other occult nonsense. And truly, to use the creational energy and power in you, you do not have to be able to read and write, but you only need your clear intellect and rationality to recognize the truth, and out of it, to use the creation-given energy and power through which you are capable of having thoughts and feelings. And truly, the creational energy and the power included therein is given to each of you human beings on earth in equal measure, and indeed without exception. Thus no difference exists therein, because a difference is only given with regard to the level of the consciousness evolution, as well as concerning the degree of intellect and the rationality, out of which also the fulfillment of the responsibility results. The fulfillment of the responsibility is also connected with the perceiving of the reality of the creational laws and recommendations, and their mode of functioning, wherein the perceiving of all things is also anchored, which does not happen through the consciousness directly, but rather through the unconscious, which comes before the consciousness, and which is not identical with the subconsciousness. Therefore each perception occurs through the unconscious form, which comes before the consciousness, through which immediately unconscious thoughts and thereout conscious feelings are triggered, after which, with a delay of 25 to 30 hundredth of a second, the consciousness and conscious thoughts themselves are included in the perception. Just as you can also perceive the things of the reality, you are, if you are heedful and attentive enough, able to perceive the creational energy and its power in you, through which you can, via your consciousness, as well as your thoughts and feelings, achieve tremendous effects, and direct the energy and power, and indeed in the good or evil, depending on how you willingly form and use everything in responsibility or irresponsibility. If you use the creational energy and power that has been given to you for the good and best in full responsibility, then you can be joyous over it and have a good self-feeling. Whereas, if you squander it uselessly, or use it for the evil, then tremble, because through the interaction that is pre-given in the creational laws, you cannot escape the disadvantage which you create for yourselves through the ungood. The power of the interaction always strikes you, both in the good, when you use it rightly, and in the evil, when you misuse it, and truly, you cannot hide from this. Therefore, the good is just as brought forth in you through the pure, neutral, positive, equalized creational energy, and power as is the evil, and indeed depending on how you form them and bring them into effect according to your own choosing and will. You are free in the use of the creational energy and its power, so you can form and bring it into effect according to your own choosing and will. But this also includes the responsibility which you have to bear, and from which you can never escape. Consequently, you shall use everything in the good and positive, so that you can bear the full responsibility for your ideas, thoughts, feelings, and deeds, as well as for all your activity in every respect. Also, you are recommended to nourish and cherish your thought world, and your thereout resulting feelings in love, and let peace, freedom, and harmony prevail in you in order to also carry forth everything to your next ones, your fellow human beings, and your whole humankind. Also, you amongst you human beings of earth, who live far from the effective truth, and who are truth unknowers, unfair ones, conscienceless ones, unrighteous ones, and irresponsible ones, and who ignore the creational laws and recommendations, you can rejoice, because the same creational energy and power is given to you, as is given to the fair ones, the righteous ones, the responsible ones, and the conscientious ones, who are strong in their truth knowledge, and who, contrary to you, follow the creation-given laws and recommendations. You only need to use the creational energy and power in you. Refrain from making everything heavy for yourselves, and not forget that everything creational streams through you, too, and that you are capable of giving everything a distinct direction according to your own volition and will, thus in the good and in the evil, in joy and sorrow, in love and hatred, as well as devastating or upbuilding. But consider, there is only this one creation energy and power, which you can not only use and bring into activity, but also strengthen and widen through your consciousness as well as through your thoughts and feelings. Apart from it there is nothing comparable, so therefore also no God power which could cause any things in you, because each Godhead is a fabulated imagination in insubstantiality, and hence not capable of any energy or power. And the creation energy with its power alone bears in itself the secret that sooner or later the precious and valueful always prevails, that the darkness must give way to the light, the evil to the good, the hatred to the love, the unknowledge to the knowledge, the unwisdom to the wisdom, and the disharmony, the unpeace, and the unfreedom to the harmony, the peace, and the freedom. But to ensure that all the high values of the love, the freedom, and harmony, of the peace, knowledge, and wisdom will not be long in coming, you human beings of earth, you shall make a conscious effort and use the pure, neutral, positive, equalized creation energy and power in your consciousness to the noble, good, and valueful, and build up the truth, its knowledge, and its wisdom in yourselves. Let the primal creation energy and its power be pure, and unfold it in you. Make it stronger, and develop your consciousness evolution out of it, as it is pre-given through the sense of the life. And do not let your creation-given consciousness energy and its power fall into a weakening through wrong ideas, thoughts, and feelings of a dullness and something impure, because you must use and direct the creational energy and power in such a wise that it is always striking and decisive. Truly, if you only have a little heedfulness and attentiveness for your thoughts and feelings, then you will recognize and perceive for yourselves what is the good and what is the evil, and indeed without having to speak it out or ruminate over it. Recognizing the good and the evil in yourselves in heedfulness and attentiveness is the right way of the cognition, not, however, a dull rumination, because this brings no cognitions, but only confusion and waste of energy and power. Rumination works like stringy morass, like a swamp which pulls everything into itself and paralyzes and suffocates everything. Be vigilant in your endeavors and connected to the gladness, so that you gain real cognitions. If, however, you give yourselves over to the rumination, then you will get confused in all sorts of things which you will never be able to fathom, and this will make you depressed and sad. You cannot change things that happened in the past, nor can you make them good again. You can, at the most, give satisfaction for them, such as by offering apologies or by making amends in whatever form, because once something has happened, it is no longer subject to any change. You can leave all things of the past behind you, and take the way to the height of the truth and the reality, and to the bearing of the responsibility at every moment, if you do not shrink back in cowardice from the truth and reality. Begin to think of the pure truth and to bear your responsibility for your existence and for everything that you nourish and cherish in terms of ideas, thoughts, and feelings that you act and do and handle. When you have dirty and terrible ideas, thoughts, and feelings, clean them and build thereout good things and the best, because you are enabled to do this through the creational energy and power that is acting in you. So you can give everything a distinct direction through the kind of your will and your decisions, through which you can reach the noblest and highest, if you make an honest effort. You, human beings of Earth in general, through your own ideas, thoughts, and feelings, as well as through your decisions and the free will, you determine the love and hatred, the harmony and disharmony, the fairness and unfairness, the peace and war, the freedom and unfreedom, as well as the fortune and unfortune. Therefore raise your head and your forehead to the truthly truth, and to the creational laws and recommendations, so that you become knowing and wise therein. So you no longer call for a self-created terrible thing, and none can befall you any more as a result of your own doing. Consider, through your free decision and your free will, you can achieve anything you want, both in the good and in the evil. Therefore, always act in fairness according to the sense of the truth, because everything will always happen to you in a wise that corresponds to your own will, your thoughts and feelings, and your responsibility for them, which you then call destiny. And if you talk about what happens to you, then you presume to claim that what happens to you is rightful or unrightful, even though you yourselves determine what befalls you and what does not, and thus you speak of a deserved or undeserved destiny, of reward and punishment, as you learn through your wrong human laws and through your religions and ideologies.